Hello and welcome to the Lightning Lads podcast, and we have a very, very special guest, the legend that is number 19 player coach Aarron Nell. And welcome to the podcast, Aarron.
Thanks for having me.
So let's dive straight into it. You've played in the Elite League, Canada, USA, and in that time you've recorded 612 goals, 610 assists, not counting last weekend, I would imagine, in total. What a career. How's that been for you?
I've loved it. It's obviously been quite long, but I've loved every second. I love playing in Swindon and all the different places that I've played. But it's always come back to playing in Swindon. This is where obviously my heart is, and I just love playing for the club. I love the players on the team and the people around us, and it's a lot easier to play when you enjoy being around the people that you're with all the time, and that's something that we've built up over the years. It's always been a great place to play, and then it's just grown as the years have gone on, as we've grown and become more professional, and so it's not an easy decision to stop playing, but I just think the time's right. But I love playing, and I'll really miss it when I stop.
I bet you will. And you've been at the Swindon Wildcats now for 17 years, which is a really long time and a really great long career to stay with one club. And you've demonstrated leadership, passion, and have helped shape the club's identity and success over the past decade. So just tell us a bit more about what Wildcats mean to you and what your time at Wildcats has been like.
It's been great. It's changed a lot since 2008. I was talking to a few people this week from my first year, and it's changed a lot since back then. Our crowds are way up. A lot of things are up, and the league's completely different. But it's a great time. Every team we've played on, we obviously had ups and downs like all teams do. But it's been a really enjoyable experience, and I think Pete was the first coach that I had here. He was here for a couple of months, and then Ryan Aldridge took over, and the club grew with Pete. From when Pete first started coaching to when he finished, it completely changed in 2 years. And then Ryan took it on I think he was here for 5 or 6 years, and it was night and day. And I was with him a lot, just playing, but I was doing a lot with the community back then. So me and Ryan were doing a lot of assemblies together, a lot of every day we'd be on the ice, basically all school day, coaching kids and after school clubs, and that was a big part of and Bully came down as well. He was a big part of that, and actually back then all the imports had to do is in their contracts to do, I think 4 to 6 hours a week of community coaching, and that's where the club really grew.
Yeah, and obviously ice hockey's been your family business for a number of years now. What's that meant to have your father and your brother with you?
I love it, and it's obviously with the 3 teams we have now, it's changing all the time. The biggest thing that we always say with the teams, I remember when we went up in, it was around one of the COVID times, we went up to see the Leeds rink, and the biggest thing about the teams is about the competitiveness between the teams, and we play Leeds on Saturday night, and it'll be it'll be a really competitive game. We had the first weekend against Basingstoke when it was the first team with the same owners. I'd probably say it's a little bit too competitive, especially when the goalies are fighting. But that's and it is so we've grown a lot. Like I said, from the first year doing it to now, it's a completely different, I'd say, business. The hockey's similar, but the business is completely different, and it is it's our only thing. So we have great passion for it. It's not like we have another business that props up the hockey teams. This is our thing, and the whole family work in it, and we really have a lot of passion for it.
That's great. So I'll hand it over to Mason.
Yeah, and so going on as well, Basingstoke Bison is now back. How great is that?
I think it's brilliant. Obviously, there's a bit of, I'll have I guess we were biased because of our situation with them being part of our group. But yeah, I think it's great. I went down there on Saturday to watch a little bit of the game against Sheffield. I think the rink's not the finished product yet, but I think they've done a really good job of getting it back. And I thought that, well, I know that the crowds, we've been really happy with the crowd so far. People are back in the team. It's a town similar to, I'd say smaller than Swindon and Milton Keynes, but a town that really focuses on the hockey team. The hockey team's a big part of the town, and the teams are doing great. I think they've won 5 in a row, and I know the coach there is doing a great job. And the team had to. Hey, we all thought that the games were going to be played in Basingstoke right from the start, and we've got sadly a bit of experience of rink issues like we had in Swindon a couple of years ago. So, but credit to the players. The players really could have not bought into what was going on, but they really wanted to be in Basingstoke, and my dad he's a very trusted man, and if he says something's going to happen, it's going to happen. And they stuck by the players, and the players stuck by the club early, and it's great to see them back.
It has been. It's exciting and very on form. The imports are all showing up, the English players, and I've actually spoken to quite a few Bison players, including Max Strike, because he came on the podcast before. I've met him after the game because someone caught me what I was saying to him, because he was a bit frustrated with the Lightning result when they came to Lightning. And I said, you know what, go back to Bison, beat them. And they did. And I was just like, I don't think I'm going to be too well.
He wasn't very popular with me, Aarron, you can imagine.
You forgave me after.
I did.
But yeah, going back into your career, you represented, of course, your country, under 18s, under 20s, and also the senior GB squads. Like, how did you feel about having those call-ups for yourself?
It was brilliant. It was only 1 year for me with the senior team. I remember I was. It was my last year in Swindon before I went to Sheffield in the EPL, and it was something I was focused on and wanted to happen. I remember when I got the call, I did probably expect to get called up. So it was the end of the season. You're not really thinking about hockey too much, and it was great to get the call. It was a great experience to see how hard the players that have played there a long time work. People like Matthew Myers and Mark Richardson, and there's countless players. And the people. I remember my roommate was Mark Thomas. He was really good to me. And where GB was then, that was a really. It wasn't a great tournament for the team. To where they are now, it's night and day. And I think it's great credit to Pete, the coach, and all the people around them. The players. We've got a player here now, Ben, that's been with them for, I think he's got 99 caps, and I think it's amazing what their players do for the country.
Definitely. And touching on GB as well, like having all the NIHL players being called up for this year's GB squads, like how cool is that?
I think it's great. So Rennie got called up. It's frustrating that he didn't play a game, but I think that our league is moving forward all the time, and everyone, not everyone, people have asked before, is a development league. Every league in the world, I think you want to develop players, but there's obviously also a business, and so you want to move people forward, and I hope that more players get a chance at the GB level and the elite league level. With Martelli and Milton Keynes, he's a great player. There's lots of great players in our league that are young British players that could deserve a shot at the higher level, and hopefully they'll get it one day.
Yeah, we agree with that. We definitely agree with that. Yeah, we definitely agree with that. So, talking about Milton Keynes, you've had a great rivalry with Milton Keynes, like, over the years. I can remember booing you at one point. I'm really sorry, Aarron. But what have been your favourite memories of Milton Keynes, and maybe both at Swindon and at the Thunderdome? And what players have you found the hardest to play against?
You'd probably split into two: the EPL and the Liga now, the National League. And in the EPL, the player you think about most would probably be Lee Jameson. I think my second year he came down from the Elite League, and he was the best, if not one of the best players in the league. And so he was a great player. I'm a good friend with Michael Farn, who I thought was a really good defenseman. And then recently, I'm good friends with Ross Venus. I think he's brilliant player. That first year, especially when he was with you guys, I thought him and Kieran were the two best players. Kieran Brown were the two best players in the league by, I'd say, a long way. And then the other one we think about, that year, I remember you guys had a great team. It was really difficult to play you guys. You had the long winning run at home, and the person that we actually thought was really important was Liam Stewart. He really changed his game, I think, that year, and he really kept things together. And look, Milton Keynes have lots of great players, and always really good games. The game the other day was our hardest game of the season so far, the most intense. And as for games, there was one a long time ago, my second year. Milton Keynes won the league, and we watched them win the league. They beat us and won, and we were, I think, 9th place at that time and got in the playoffs the last week of the season. So we played them in a 2-legged game, and in the second leg, it was we ended up winning 7-5. We went down 5 times. They scored first, and we pulled it back, and we ended up winning 7-5. Back then I scored a few more goals. I had a pretty good game, and Milton Keynes, then they obviously expected to go through to the final, so they'd already booked hotels. So we actually got to use their hotels and bought their hotels off them in Coventry the following year and the following week. And it was a great moment. I was also a very young player, and I think the next year I went to Coventry. So it was a great couple of weeks for us as a team. And recently, the playoffs last couple of years have been really intense. I was fortunate to score a big goal a couple of years ago that was quite nice in our rink. And but the games against Milton Keynes and Leeds over the last 3 years, obviously Milton Keynes and Leeds have been the two teams going for it, and we've been trying to catch up with them over the last 3 years. And but the games against them two teams over the last 3 years have been at a different level, and they've been the next day after playing Milton Keynes or Leeds, you're pretty sore. It's a very intense game.
Yeah, so you caught the highlights, and of course I was still recovering. I was watching the actual live stream, and I actually thought it was very entertaining. It was like back and forth, but of course the third period, you guys did come out very strong, and honestly, the deserved winners of the game. Yeah. I just said wow, these guys, they could win the league or maybe win something this season, 100%. So on the podcast, I keep saying they've got a great motive because Aarron, Nell, but yeah. And of course, we do Team of the Week. So Ryan Wells did make it into our D-man, as he's been outstanding. I think one of the best D-men in the league. Yeah, but without a shadow of a doubt. But yeah.
So Ryan's a star. He's brilliant. Very lucky to sign Ryan. I was actually looking at 2 other players all summer, 2 summers ago, and then I made an offer to a player, and he had said no. I expected him to say yes, and it was a bit of a panic actually. The last 2 years, we've waited very late to make decisions, and if I hadn't waited that late 2 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to sign Ryan. And ever since he's got here, he's absolutely loved it, and he's a great person, and he really leads the team on the ice, and he's exceptional. Quite often the players that are really good, and we've all had them over the years, all the different teams, are players that the other teams try and replicate when the next year, and I think a lot of teams are trying to sign the next Ryan Wells. And he's very happy in Swindon. He loves it here, and he's a great player for us.
So the league, as you said, has become really competitive this year. We were just looking at the table before you came on, and there's I think very few points between the bottom and the sort of the third and fourth. How does that affect your approach to the mental side of hockey, and how do you stay focused during those pressurized games?
When it's all so tight, I actually find it easier because where everything's moved on over the last 3 or 4 years, there used to be some games that you used to kind of circle and kind of know that you were going to win. But now with the I think the extra imports improved the product this year. I think every team now, it's certainly out of COVID. Then we had the stuff with the visas stuff, with the Brexit and all that stuff. So there were some teams that weren't signing imports. I remember Leeds didn't have a import one year. Some teams did have British passport holders, and so it all kind of changed over the last couple of years. Now everyone can sign a good import. You see the one that Solway just signed the other day. He looks like a brilliant player. So everyone can sign a good import, and that so you've really got to focus on that. And so when it's all so close, it makes it a lot easier to prepare for games, in my view, because if you don't prepare, you don't win. So like I said, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, you could not prepare for a game and still win it. That's not the case anymore, and our mentality, we were very fortunate. Our main sponsor and Rob, who's the owner of our main sponsor, he's also part director of the team now, part owner of the team now. He got us to. He always does our open day at the start of the year, and he got us to be able to have a session with Clive Woodward, the rugby coach, or Sir Clive Woodward. And his biggest thing that I took from, there's lots of things I took from him, but he just talked about taking it a game at a time. So that's in the past, when I was younger, you look ahead a little bit and, okay, we got this game. And now we literally just look at the next game. And that makes the next game is the most important one. I know that's what Ryan in Leeds has done over the last little while. And the only game we focus on is the next one, and it makes it a lot easier to prepare for them all.
Yeah. So you're very dedicated to the team and spend a lot of time with the training and coaching during the week and weekend, and probably in your spare time looking at videos and what have you. But what does Aarron Nell do when he's not on the ice?
During the season, it's not far off. Not 24/7. We've obviously got sleep, but it's every day. It's nice in the summer to be able to relax. I've got a young family, 2 young girls, 8 and 6, and so me and my wife, we get to spend time with them. They're our priority when we're not working, and I'm obviously in the season working a lot. So. Get to do, obviously it's an exciting time of the year, Christmas, and taking them out on Tuesday to one of these places with the Christmas stuff, and so I know they're excited about that. And for me, if it was just me, I like to play golf in the summer. It's very difficult on my body to be able to play during the season, but in the summer I like to golf a lot. When I can.
All great.
That's brilliant.
I think Aarron might have a very tough job on his first all coaching. Who does replace Aarron on the ice?
Yes.
Who's going to be that big forward to bring forward and everything?
Well, look, the whole thing's been thought about with the. We knew it was going to come at some point, and the league's getting better all the time, and I'm getting older and slower all the time. So I still think I'm a good player now, but I just knew at some point it was going to be time. And there's a lot of planning. We plan a lot about everything with the team, and we'll hopefully be. 99.99% sure we'll be just fine.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. But finally, just to wrap this all up, is there anything you'd like to say to, obviously, the Swindon Wildcats fans and the people watching our podcast today?
No, just look, thank you for all the support personally. There's been a few nice things said about me in the last couple of weeks since I announced myself retiring, and we like I said earlier, the way our club's grown, and I remember the first 3, 4, 5 years I played. Well, maybe at least the first 3. Like, very rarely did we even sell out the seats upstairs. We have 711 seats upstairs, and they sell out now. Very, very. Like, I think our game at Christmas upstairs is already sold. So. And back in the day when I first started, that was maybe half full. So everything's growing all the time. I think the league's growing. I think it's great. When you go into places like Milton Keynes and Leeds and other places, it's really good atmospheres, and that's what it's all about. That's the passion that the fans bring. I know some of the Milton Keynes fans don't like me, and that's completely fine. I think that's great. I think that's brilliant, and that's what sport's about. It's about yeah, it's about supporting your team and obviously hoping your team wins. But the best thing about sport is that you never know what's going to happen. And so the passion that the fans bring is great. And the game on Sunday, it was a Sunday game, so we didn't have our biggest crowd, but with how it all kicked off at the start, it kind of got the fans and the players engaged in the game. And I'm sure the people who watched the game, especially obviously the Swindon fans, we won, so you're happy, but you could just see that two teams really committed to winning the game, and I thought it made a great product for the fans to watch.
No, definitely.
So thank you, Aarron. It's been an absolute joy to talk to you. You are, whether you don't realise it or not, every Lightning fan really likes you. Don't worry.
Someone got a picture of me. That wasn't one of you two, was it? Got a picture of me on the bench a couple of years ago. That was a pretty funny one. I get sent stuff every so often. There was one of me on the bench after you guys had scored, I don't know, the 7th or 8th goal against us. Where I was having a pretty bad day that day.
I don't think that was me. I took pictures of other people. Like I forgot his name now. The netminder from Romford, who's now second coach. Was it coach of the Buccaneers? Isn't he, Romford?
I don't know.
The big afro. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot. But
yeah.
I'll take a good picture.
Yeah, if we've had a bad game and I'm on the bench, I get a few funny pictures sent to me.
I bet you do.
I feel your pain anyway, because I had a picture over the weekend of against Romford, and Tony took the picture. I actually was like this, and I had a grumpy face because I couldn't shout, I couldn't scream for my team, and I was just like, a bad day myself. But as I said, next time we see you, hopefully we can have a quick catch up, get a quick selfie, and of course, we give all the guys that come on the podcast, you get a Lightning hat anyway for souvenir.
Okay. Is it Lightning Lads or Milton Keynes Lightning?
Lightning lads.
Okay, that's
you can have Lightning Keynes hat if you want.
We can put that.
No, thank you, sir.
I love MPL.
But I don't think you'd be very popular in Swindon.
No, thank you so much.
It's been a real pleasure, as I say. We hold you in the highest respect. I think everybody in the league wishes you well for your retirement.
No, definitely.
And the future. And thank you very much.
Thank you, mate.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a good evening.